Hi, my name is Demi, and I'm a recent law graduate from UCLA Law. I graduated last year at 2020, and right now I'm a permanent resident of the United States. I'm living here with my family, so I'm gonna be staying here for a long while. Um, yeah, so basically I'm making this video to share my experiences as a student, an international student at UCLA Law. I I was the only Indonesian at UCLA Law last year, so most of my classmates were actually seasoned lawyers who are much older than me, and they all come from developed countries, which kind of makes me think I really want, more Indonesians, more students, more international students from developing countries to be able to experience the education that is provided here in the United States. So usually the first thing that people think about when people say studying in the US is admissions, which is, well, it's true that there's a lot of things to consider when you want to apply. There's a lot of documents that you have to prepare, such as TOEFL scores, personal statements, letter of recommendations, and then, your diploma, your transcript, all of those school documents that you need to have translated into English and evaluated by an institution that your university will give you details on. So that's a lot. But other than admission documents, you also need to think about your arrival here in the US. First of all, you need a student visa. And then you need to think about where you'll be staying here in the US, your living accommodations and everything else, your transportation. So when I was living in Los Angeles, the rent was expensive. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was really expensive, especially since my school was located in Westwood. It's right between Santa Monica and Beverly Hills, so you can imagine how much the rent cost, which is why I felt that it made more sense for me to live near campus. I had to pay, more rather than if I chose to stay somewhere further away. But I could walk to campus, which means I didn't have to pay for transportation. I didn't have to pay, for a car or for gas or to commute. So those are the things that you kind of need to consider when you choose where you want to live. But let's say you're living downtown LA, like you're going to school at USC. There's a lot of unsafe areas there, so you really do need to do your research. You need to find out which areas have a lot of students in them. And there's just a lot of things to consider. And then, maybe if you're going to school somewhere else where they don't have apartments near the campus and you need to commute, you need to think about getting a car and then everything that comes with that. So that's a lot of research that you need to do before buying anything, because it would suck if you end up paying for a lot when you could have paid less if only you did some research before. Living costs also depend on where you live, like where your school is. So I lived in California. It's an expensive state. Everything there was expensive. But let's say you go to school in Texas. Of course, your living costs is not gonna be as expensive because different cities, different states. Tuition fees also vary, not only from the state, but also the major that you're taking. So those are things that you need to consider as well. Other than that, I think in general, most US schools do accept international students from the top ranked schools to the ones below them. Oh, and another thing, schools here aren't ranked only in general, but they're also ranked by major. So take for example, law schools. The best ranked law school in the US is Yale and Harvard. In California, UCLA Law is ranked one of the best, and that's where I went. So yeah, that's things to consider. You need to research what major you want, which school. So it's not enough to just go, oh, I want to go to this school which is ranked the best in the US, but you don't actually know if it's ranked the best for a specific major that you want to take or not. Yeah, so in my experience, when I was applying for law school, there's a specific criteria that is different from other majors that I needed to do. So my TOEFL score needed to be at least 100, with each section a minimum of 25. So I needed to get more than 25 for the writing, for the speaking, for the listening, and for the reading. And then my GPA needed to be at least 3, and the letters of recommendation that they asked for needed to come from either someone I worked with professionally or a professor. So yeah, most majors have their own specific criterias. Some schools even have more than one essays that you need to write for the admissions. So a lot of research needs to be done. Those are some of the things that you need to consider if you want to study abroad in the US. And in my next videos, I'm going to show you around campuses in Texas and in California, which is going to be fun. So yeah, I'm actually making a consultation office with several friends from other countries who have all studied here in the US. So what we'll be doing is helping students who want to study here. We'll be giving consultations, tips, and basically helping everyone get the best experience they can studying abroad. So you can contact me by email. My email is demirasaid@gmail.com. You can also contact me through WhatsApp. My number is +1 832 342 5119, and I'm gonna link everything down in the description, so you can always just check that out. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you want to. So yeah, thanks. Bye bye.